Hello guys, it's your girl Afia Adarkwa and you are here tuned into FONSECA Online TV. And if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you do, and also don't forget to click at the notification button so that you never miss out on any content that we actually upload for you. And of course, not forgetting that please also subscribe to our sister channel, which is FONSECA TV. And as you know that whenever you see my face, I am actually bringing you some good topics, and this is actually Catch the Waves with Afia. And on the line we have our psychological counselor. Sorry about that, our psychological counselor. And you guys always know that if I am having Emana on the line, it means that we are here to actually discuss or talk about mental health issue. And today we actually want to talk about acceptance in mental health. What acceptance is. We are not here to actually give you what we usually give you, like the awareness and things like that, but that doesn't mean that we are not going to bring up some more. We still will, but today we just want to talk about acceptance, what it means in the mental health world. Well, welcome Melanie, it's been a while.
Yes, thank you so much. What a warm welcome. It has been a long time.
Yeah,
I'm sure I've missed speaking on some topics and
yeah,
just
true.
having the viewers to get information.
Yeah. Oh well, since let us not take most of the time, and also please also take note that FONSECA Online TV is actually sponsored by FONSECA IT Solutions. So Imana, as we
Mhm.
were actually discussing about what is it that we should talk about, Imana actually was like, let's actually talk about something that will not need more clinical maybe terms, or no, all those psychological terms. And she actually is the one who said maybe we should talk about acceptance, because it is actually a very important and vital point in mental health.
Mhm.
I think maybe Imana should actually, help us there get to understand what really is acceptance, and what does it mean in the mental health sector.
Okay, so in human psychology,
Mm-hmm.
acceptance is a person's assent to the reality of a situation, and it's a person's recognition of the process or circumstances around them without attempting to modify or dispute it. So it's just every circumstance, every process that you go through, everything around you, your reality, without having to try to change it, without having to try to modify, without having to try to dispute it, like dispute, probably live in denial. This is very, in our mental health, it is very important for us. I know we're going to talk more about that,
Yeah.
but it's very important for us humans to accept. Life is all about accepting things
Accepting.
that come, things that go. you
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Mm-hmm.
that is what acceptance really is in human psychology.
I think there you actually did a good thing to actually come up with the fact that we should talk about acceptance, because um, I think it is for a person to take the next step into anything that they're going
Mm-hmm.
through, they have to accept, because accepting means that you are now going to live in that reality that is actually what is happening in your life. And the
Yeah.
acceptance actually doesn't mean that we're only talking about accepting whether you are not well mentally. People
Mm-hmm.
also find it hard to cope with a lot of things. It can be relationship issues, whereby we know that people can also be stressed over relationships. They can be overwhelmed. They can even develop anxiety, depression, with all these things, even though people feel like, nah, anybody who has anxiety or depression or stress over relationships,
Mm-hmm.
it's not valid, and yet it is too. So ever
Mm-hmm.
also having to accept health issues. You can be having cancer, You can be having HIV and AIDS. I think I have actually seen people who suffer from HIV and AIDS, not accepting what really is. Yeah, and then you find that it really affects them. I think maybe if you can also touch on that, how not accepting your situation or anything that is happening with you actually makes things harder for a person to be better, or to cope better.
Not accepting, actually, it trying to change because when you don't accept, you try to change your reality, right?
Yeah.
You try to dispute it, you try to modify it, you just try to tweak and change reality, which is not possible. It is not guaranteed. There's just that battle, you are guaranteed a loss in trying to change your own reality. And it leads to a lot of feelings of bitterness, anger, and sadness. So when you don't accept things and you don't accept situations, it can lead to so much anger, it can lead to so much bitterness, it can lead to so much sadness, and also it can lead to mental health issues. Like some of them we have already spoken about, your depression. It can lead to, alcoholism that we've spoken about, anxiety, and all of these things, because we're trying to change our reality instead of accepting the circumstances around us, instead of accepting the processes around us. Not that some things we cannot change, but it is always good to accept when you cannot change or modify, dispute something. So it does become an issue, it does become a problem, not only to yourself, but also to the people around you. Because now your definition of reality then changes. And people's understanding of you will then begin to change, and you find yourself isolated, you find yourself left out because you can't move on from a situation, you can't accept a situation and live life, So it's quite a big topic, and it's very important to accept. And I'm going to just put that out there, that acceptance is very, very important, because there's a sense of peace and calm that comes with accepting the situation, that comes with accepting the process that you are in. For example, when you are terminally ill with cancer, there's a 50-50% chance that I might beat this cancer and it might just clear out of my system, or I might have this illness and it becomes chronic up until I die. The best thing a person can do is accept that, to have that sense of peace within their heart and have that sense of calm in their heart, to even enjoy life, whether they are suffering from the illness or not. With cancer is one of those illnesses that are 50-50, and we all know it, So it just helps. And now it's normal to feel angry, it's normal to feel disappointed and all of this, but accepting everything just gives you the sense of peace, and it gives you the sense of calm.
Sense of calmness. We've mentioned this before, and correct me also if I'm wrong. I also feel like even the steps of now going for therapy or counseling, or anything that has to do with that, actually begins with you having to accept that, this is my issue and I need to get help over it. Because the other time, I think, when we were actually talking about alcoholism, like talking about ways of having to help this person, and I think it all begins with acceptance. I mean, I stand to be corrected if you disagree with me, because I feel like if I haven't accepted the fact that maybe I do have an alcoholic issue, for me to find a way or steps or any coping mechanisms to help me better of myself from this drinking problem. If I don't accept it, then it's not going to happen.
Exactly, because true acceptance allows you to recognize and face the actual problem. Denying reality prevents you from problem solving and may lead to more serious consequences. In the state of alcoholism and many other mental health issues, when we deny the fact that we are going through that mental disorder, that mental health problem, or we are going through problems, or we have stress, it just prevents you from figuring what the problem is and getting solutions to that problem, because you're so blinded by the fact that I'm in denial. This is not what it is. This is not who I am, or this is not happening to me. And which affects us a lot in our days, because somebody can be in a situation, a horrible situation, and still live in denial. Hoping somehow, somewhere they can change the problem, yet they need the solution from out there. So most of the time, I've seen a lot of this in my cases. I deal mostly with people who need physical rehabilitation, people who've lost limbs, people who've been paralyzed, spinal cord injuries, strokes and all that. You find that the patient is failing to accept the situation that they are in and failing to accept what has happened to them. And that tends to make them stay and revolve around that issue. And they forget that I still have a chance at life because I still carry the breath. I'm still alive. Even though I have lost a limb, it doesn't mean I cannot go out there and do something. When it goes deeper and you look into, there's wheelchairs, there's ramps at stores, there's all these things that you can get around. But because they live in the denial state, and they're always stuck in the denial stage, it's hard for them to move on. So acceptance is a huge, huge deal, just for everybody, everyone. Even when it comes to trauma as a mental health issue, I can say, for example, somebody who has gone through rape, though it is difficult to accept that I have been raped, one needs to realize and know that I have been raped in order to help themselves and move on past that trauma of facing the rape. So, it's just a lot.
Wow. All the things that you have said now just made me, with the permission of my friend, she did, she always says that I can always use her as an example. I have a friend, she's more like a sister. So she lost her eyesight. I think it's been 3 years now, or 4 years. We were actually we were literally roommates once upon a time in varsity, and her family grew to be my actually first South African family. So she lost her eyesight, and guys, one day I am going to actually have a program with her so that you guys can maybe even understand. The way that she accepted, we joke about it, we laugh about it, when things like that, when I call her and at times maybe she doesn't answer, and then I call her again, I keep on trying, then she will answer and say, hey, when that pela eyesight dololo. So, because she has accepted, and and we once spoke about it with her. I was like, how did you get to the point whereby you have just accepted that this is this? And she was like, because if I don't accept that this is now my reality, nobody can live my life better than I can. And if I want to live my life the way that I want it to be, I need to accept what is happening in my life right now. And I was very proud, of her saying those things, because, knowing her from back then, with these people whereby even if something sad happens to either of us, we would actually change the scenario and make it humorous, so that we don't get so stressed about it, and find it easy to accept, So
Yeah.
she made me realize that at times, the more we hold back, as the more whereby we also find ourselves in very stressful moments, we find ourselves in
Yeah.
clouded by, overclouded by a dark cloud, whereby you cannot laugh and all those things. And to myself, to many people, she came to visit me the other time, and people were like, "Hey, well, are you sure she's like this?" Laughing, talking, sharing her experiences. Like, do you know that
Yeah.
I can still do 1, 2, 3, and she doesn't want people to, pity her because she has actually accepted herself, and her accepting the way
Yeah.
that she is has made things very easier for her, and for you to actually say this, I think probably we should also have some time, maybe the three of us, where we can actually talk about it, so that people out there can actually understand that, oh, okay, no matter what you're going through, the moment you accept it, the moment you accept the reality is the moment you start your healing, actually.
Yes.
That's what I feel like, because I myself, I always say this, I am mental health, should I say, do I call myself a mental health patient? Is the yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an anxiety disorder, and it took me a while to actually, be okay with it because of the stigma around it. And I think having to be given a platform or to be able to talk about it has actually made me even accept myself even more.
Yeah.
Imana did mention, guys, if maybe I teardrop, just understand that it's because it's, but
It's close to home.
yeah, it's close to home. Imana mentioned that the moment you probably don't accept, you get angry, you you develop even some form of negativity. And once you accept, it's not like probably you won't have doubts even at some point. You still are going to have some doubts here and there, because at some days your mental health can be, not even there. You will not even think about it. There are some days whereby you feel like, no, this is actually a very shitty world or shitty place to be, whereby it's always a work in progress. Every day it's your work in progress, but the first step in everything is just to accept that this is your reality. We have spoken about things that trigger many things when you have mental health issues, and even that, it's still something that as a person at times it's even hard to accept, that okay, this is my new way of life. I need to try so hard not to do this. I need to try so hard not to be on social media, because also the things that we indulge, social media has also become a place whereby you find it's very hard to even accept yourself because of the things that are always shown and put out there. So to our viewers, if you are going through something, it may not be mental health related, as we mentioned, it can be, probably you're going through something at work, you're going through something in your relationship, you're going through something with family, relatives, your working environment, all those things that probably may need you to accept a certain situation, yeah, I think we should. But I think, because you mentioned you mentioned rape, right? I want to say, I don't want people to take us as if we're saying even things like that we should accept them if it's your reality, that maybe you are going through it, you are being sexually assaulted. No, guys, No.
No.
No, not that kind of acceptance. We're not saying accept any kind of abuse, or accept
Abuse?
any,
No, not at all.
not at all. But we're talking about situations whereby you find yourself in, and for you to actually be healing, that's actually the acceptance that we're all about. I think before we close, maybe Imana can just have something to say, people who are literally going through a lot, and you just want to tell them why they should accept, why it is important, and what acceptance is going to do to their mental health. Because also what we should remember is that Imana did even say mental issues at times can change even your health issues. You can end up having health issues which can be physical, because of mental health issues. So I think to just if you can just sum it up for us before we close.
Okay. I'd like to say that I know that some situations in life seem difficult. Some situations in life are difficult, depending on our capacity and all of that. But if life is difficult, you too be tough. That's what I'm going to say, because fight for acceptance and fight for your own sanity. There's nothing more better than to accept a situation, to start your healing process, to start your journey of liberty, your journey of just being free from everything that holds you down and holds you back. There could be denial in so many places, in relationships, denial in school, in varsity, in your workplace, your health and all that. But the best thing you can do for yourself is realize and know that that is your reality, and that is going to be the beginning for you to start looking for solutions to the problems that you are facing, to the circumstances that you're facing. Because once you accept and you get in touch with your reality, that's when you can actually live in your reality. So that's what I'm going to say, is just seek peace through acceptance, because acceptance gives you peace. It gives you a sense of calm. It helps you realize all of the problems and all the solutions to those problems. And I'm not saying that life is easy, and life just happens. At times you may need assistance with accepting. That's why psychologists are there. That's why counselors are there. That's why your best friend is there. Your mother is there to just help you and hear you out and help you accept some situations. A lot of the time when we don't accept and we feel and think that we've accepted situations, it creates a wound. And wounds, when not treated well, can get infected. So let's try our best to accept situations, accept circumstances. If you are able to change it, go ahead and do all the best you can to change a situation for your good. But if you aren't, accept it and live life. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I really, really, really love what you just say, and I hope our viewers and listeners out there would actually take this and apply it in their, daily lives. We need to accept a whole lot of things at times, even if you're in the, traffic, and then you're so angry because you're in a rush. At times, all you need to do is calm and accept the fact that you're going to be late, than to be rushing, and now there's road rage, and then you're causing accidents left, right, and center. I think it's always a good thing to accept. And also we should know that acceptance for mental health is so good, because it can be a kind of gateway to compassion for oneself and for others. Well, with that said, guys, thank you so much for your follows, for your comments. Every time, please don't forget to also do what? Keep your keep coming, keep subscribing, keep liking, keep those questions coming. Anything that you would want us to discuss, trust me, FORITEC Online TV is here to do that. And if you have watched till this point and you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe. And also, I would like to say thank you very much, Emmanuel, for always being available and helping us tackle all these situations, and questions and things that are happening around us, especially that involve mental health. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'm enjoying being on the show, and it is an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
Okay, my dear, then. Till next time, then.
Okay. Till next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, as you know, that was MELANIE FONSECA, who is a psychological counselor. Well, there you have it. I hope from us to you, from mine to yours, you guys got to learn or are going to learn one or two things about acceptance. Let us find a way to accept our situations, so that we can live better, so that we cannot live in negativity, so that our healing journey can begin. Well, from your girl Afia, it's a TTFN. Tata for now.